The chair recognizes the gentleman from Kansas, Mr. Yoder, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the afternoon of Sunday, April 13th, Palm Sunday, and the eve of Passover, it was a beautiful spring day in Overland Park, Kansas. Many families were gathering across the community to be close and to celebrate these meaningful and important religious holidays. Yet on that day of great beauty, tremendous evil was arriving in my community. On that day, hatred combined with bigotry would spur a tragedy of horrific proportions in Overland Park. That afternoon, a singing competition for the best high school singers in the metropolitan area was occurring at the Jewish Community Center just down the street from where my family lives. The Jewish Community Center of Greater Kansas City has been in operation since 1914 and is a bustling center for events, meetings, discussions, exercise, and service of a diverse community, where all people and all faiths are welcome. That day, 2 members of my church, the United Methodist Church of the Resurrection, were driving into the parking lot of the Jewish Community Center to participate in this competition, a grandfather and his grandson. When, out of nowhere, a man driven by hatred, anti-Semitism, and a life of racism decided to take their innocent lives. Reat Underwood, one of the victims, a 14-year-old boy and freshman at Blue Valley High School, had an amazing voice. Reat's love of theater came naturally to him. With that training, Reat began his theater career at age 4 at Camelot Academy. Reat was heavily involved with volunteering, and he cared about his community and was very active in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. Carrying on the traditions of his grandfather and uncles, Reat was a Cub Scout with Pack 3097 at Blue Valley Middle School, and then a Boy Scout with Troop 37, the Red-Tailed Hawk District, where he reached Life Scout. He was preparing for his Eagle Scout boards with Troop 92 to be held in May. Reat will be missed by his family, especially his younger brother Lucas, who gave a beautiful tribute to his services. Reat's grandfather, Bill Corporan, who was taking Reat to this singing contest, also was a victim. Reat's family all lived in Overland Park, and his grandparents had moved there from Oklahoma so they could live near their grandchildren. Dr. Corporan had met and married his wife Melinda in Ponca City, Oklahoma, and they were married in 1965. He graduated with a doctorate of medicine from the University of Oklahoma in 1972, and the whole family became very big Sooner fans. He operated family medicine practices throughout Oklahoma before finally moving with his wife to Overland Park to be close to their family. He continued serving his community as a physician and a medical director to the very last days. A third victim, Terri LaManno, was arriving at Village Shalom, a retirement community, almost a mile down the street to visit her mother. She too became a victim of vile bigotry and hatred from that violence that afternoon. Terri worked as an occupational therapist at the Children's Center for the Visually Impaired in Kansas City. She spent her time working with children and families of those in need. Her daughter Alyssa described Terri as, quote, as a beautiful soul who always thought of everyone else before herself. She was the best mother, wife, sister, and friend that anyone could ask for. Sadly, Terri was taken from us just 2 days before her 25th anniversary with her husband. Today I rise to pay tribute to these victims. We will never forget them. Our hearts break for them. And this Congress honors them for their beautiful lives and legacies. And although the events which transpired are evil and will have long-lasting effects in our community, they have also brought us together and strengthened the bonds between all of us. Mr. Speaker, my district is a diverse one, demographically. It's a strong community with a strong community spirit, with urban, suburban, and rural areas. The 3rd District of Kansas is a microcosm of the United States. Mr. Speaker, these hate crimes were shown in our community as these types of actions were so foreign to us. The days following the horrendous act, though, were filled with love, community, and comfort as members of our entire community came together to support one another. Hundreds and hundreds of community members gathered together for an interfaith unity service at the Jewish Community Center. Vigils were held. Thousands turned out for memorial services. Mr. Speaker, this type of hate and violence has no place in our society and our Kansas community, as many often do, rallied and demonstrated in unified voice and spirit that one act of violence cannot break our bonds and tear us apart. Minnie Corporan, a friend of mine and the woman who tragically lost both her son and father that day, stated something profound after these events. "We want something good to come out of this," she said. "We don't know what that's going to be, so we want people to let us know if they think something good has come out of it." Mr. Speaker, I was there for the week following the shooting. I saw the reaction of the entire community, and based on the support and comfort our community has shown each other. Mr. Speaker, the entire 3rd District of Kansas honors Reat, Bill, and Terri, and every single other human being who has been the victim of racism, discrimination, hatred, and evil. We honor them, each and every one of us, by doing our part to turn darkness into light and to turn hatred into love. And I yield back, Mr. Speaker.